Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. Okay, so in today's live stream, I think so far we've done a pretty good job with having to work on the back end. But now what I want to focus on is the front end part of our application. So not to waste too much time, I've gone ahead to create our front end part of the application using first of all, you have to do is to come into your terminal. Make sure you are in the root of the folder, which is a money transfer folder, which should be here. Then you can do npx create React app front end. We're going to use Redux as our state management to manage our state. So you can do npx create React app and the name of the folder. You can use whatever that you want for the name of the folder. For me, I use a front end because it's the front end. Then you pass the template flag and then Redux. All right, I'm not going to do that because I've already done that, not to waste too much time. Then the next thing that you can do is to cd into your front end. Then you run npm run start, which then will start your dev server for your React, which is pretty much straightforward and simple. So when you pass the template flags of Redux, you are going to get all of these boilerplates, which like features, counter features, which is an example of how you should be able to use. Let's make this bigger. Which is an example of how you'll be able to use Redux for your state management. So we have our counter slice, it brings in all of these jars. Counter slice, yeah. We bring in the create syncton, create slice, all of these things. Then you export your counter slice, all of these things. So, but then we also have inside our app, we have our store, which then brings in our reducer and all of these jars. But but we are not going to use these ones. I mean these examples. So in today's live stream, what I want to tackle is the authentication side of the application. So let's just try, and then also I want to use source, but let us try and then clean up our folder. So let's come into the app side. Let's clear all of these things. RAFCE. I'm using RFCE. I'm using a React snippet. So when you type RFCE, it automatically gives you this. Yeah. Let's refresh. Yeah, we have our up, but what I want is an h1. It's h1, and I'll say hello world. Yeah, works. So back inside our store, we're not going to use the counter reducer. We're not going to use the counter reducer, so let's take this off, and let's clean this one too as well. Oh, come on. Save. Hopefully we don't get any errors. Okay, so far so good. And then we can safely delete these because we are not using it. Matter of fact, I'll delete the whole features folder, because usually I'd want to use something like Redux, which is sometimes more specific with regards to folder naming and all of those jazz. Let's inspect our console to see if we have any errors. Console. Okay, store does not have a valid reducer, but we will tackle this one later. So inside our index.js, I don't need my index.css file, and then let's delete our index file too as well. Then inside we also don't need the app.css. Delete index.js. Okay, so far so good. But what I would want to use is Sass. So inside our front end folder, we can do npm install Sass. Let's wait for it to install. Go. So let's clear, then npm run start. Takes a little time for it to start. We'll tackle this error later, but let's continue. So then back inside our app.js, what I want to do is to create app.scss, which is our Sass file for our CSS styling. 1 sec. Okay, so let's test to see if this will work. We say background. Let's use blue. So back in our app.js, we import app.scss. See if this works. Yeah, works. So what I want to do is our basic cleanup. We say margin 0, padding to be 0, box sizing should be border box, and then I changes that. But what I also want to do is to go to Google and get some fonts. So Google fonts, I want Poppins. So we can then copy this. First off, let's add some of the different font weight properties. So I'll need a light one, let's say 100. I'll need let's do 400. Okay, there's already 400. And then I'll need one that's bold, 700. I want 8. Okay, 800. 800 is already in here. All right, so let's copy, come back into our code, and then try and then import that. Save. Check to see if we have some errors. Oh, we need a comma in here. All right, so let's then come back and then copy our CSS here. So we come in here and then we put our style in. Let's put it in the body. Font family that. Alright, let's and check to see if everything is working. Save. Oh, there's a typo here. Save. Yeah, that works. Cool it. Alright. So we've done a pretty good job with cleaning up our code. But then also, what I also want to do is have both front end and then back end server working. So I'll come out of the front end folder and then I'll install npm concurrently. Actually, this will be a development dependency, so it's a -d concurrently. And let's install that. Let's wait for it to install. Let's close this. Don't need that anymore. So while we wait for that, we come to our root folder inside our package.json. Then what we can then do is we can write a new script for we can then write a new script by saying client, we want npm run start. That's just prefix front end, and then we want our dev to be concurrently /quote npm run. We want to run our servers first, /quote /quote npm run client /quote. Yeah. So concurrently we'll run both our server and then our client at the same time. So we come into terminal again. Let's save this. Command X. Let's save this and then run npm on dev. Template log. Sorry. npm run dev. We are having some error. We seems to be a problem. Right, everything seems to be working now. Alright, then starting our okay. But also what I want to do is to change the proxy by coming in here inside our package.json. Then we say proxy http local host port 5000, which is the port that our which is the port that the backend server is running on. So we come back into our terminal, then run npm run dev. It runs the server, runs the client. Did we save this? Let's try and save it again. And then let's restart. Then npm run to make sure everything is working like it's supposed to. Cool. Okay, we'll deal with the store reducer later, but for now let's try and then close some of the files that we've opened. We don't need this. So let's also test to see if our proxy is working. Let's use effect React and bring in our use effect. Yeah, and then we pass in our dependencies, but currently we don't want any dependencies. And then we can say something like get users want an async function, then console.log get users, then let's run the get users function. That should console. Let's check the console. Let's refresh to see if it works. Get users. Okay. So what I want to do is to try and then I don't know why our development server is not working. Okay, so let's try and get some data from the backend by saying await fetch users equals data equals to await. We are using the fetch API. So also let's log data. Let's see if that works. What seems to be the problem? Let's start our server again. Yeah. The proxy should rather be in the package.json file. So we do proxy local host port 5000 like that. Let's save this. Then inside our package.json, let's take off this. Sorry. Now let's restart our server. Sometimes React is just so annoying. Yeah, works. So we have our data coming in from our backend. Great. Let's refresh again to see if that works. Great. Cool. Also annoying, isn't it? Okay. Then the next thing we'll do is to install our route. Let's clear the console cd into frontend, and then npm install React router. So okay, let's then come back and then run our dev server again. Unfortunately, these are some of the works that you have to do. People do not see, developers do, and wonder why they get paid so much. But hey, we'll charge it to the game in a minute. Okay, so let's clean up app.js again. Then do our fce, sorry, then import browser router from as router and router, and then inner route, and then a route. Cool. So back in here, we say browser. Now we bring in our router, and then our routes, and then our route. But before we do that, let's also try and then create our pages too as well. So back in our source file, inside here, create a new folder, then save pages. And then first of all, we want our login.jsx. We also want register.jsx. Then we want let's say dash let's say home.jsx, something like this. So inside here, RFCE. So the computer is so slow, I don't know why. Then H1, then do home, then inside login, same thing. H1, and inside our register, RFCE, H1, and H1, let's register. Cool. So let's bring in our pages by saying import on the login, then on the register, then I want the home page. Okay, so back into our route, and we say we hit the path of that. We want the home component, then we want the login. When we hit the login component, then when we hit the register, oh sorry, you have to put this in open and close bracket, sorry. And then set. Yeah, so then let's create a component folder. We will need a header component, so we create header.jxs rfce, So back in here, have a h1 tag, and we do our header. So we don't need this. We have our header. What's this? Up. Okay. So let's import our header component file too from here. We then come to component header. Save. Then we then can bring in our header component here, which is what we want. Coolly. So let's also bring in our CSS styling. Import CSS. So I should sort out all of our problems. So back inside the header.scss, wait. Back inside the app.scss, let's create some basic styling. Let's say dot container, we want a width of 1200 pixel and max width of 90%, margin of 0, auto to bring it into the middle, and then we can come back into our app.css. Here we have a class name container, and that should put everything in the middle. Cool. So let's close some of the files that we have. Sorry, I had to attend to something private, so pardon me for the sudden disappearance. Okay, where were we? So back inside our header file, let's try and then create our navigation. Let's import link from React router down. Then inside, let's take off this. Let's change to header class name should be main header. Then we have a length tag should be an h1. Let's say money transfer. Then let's have a nav tag link. Let's this should take us to the home. Let's should to login. And then register. This should take us to the register page. Save it. All right. Let's go back into our app.css file and take care of the styling. So we do header, let's say header styling. So that's main header. Let's do a padding of 1 rem from top to bottom, 0 rem left to right. Okay. With general styling, with our a tag, we want text decoration of none, and then let's see a color of black. Okay. And inside the main header, the h1, I want the font size to be 1.2 rem. 1.2 rem is too small. 1.4, let's do 1.5. Okay, then we can do display flex align items center justify content space between. Yeah, and then inside say display inline block margin left on rem to create some space between that. Okay, so we sort of like have a rough this takes us to login. This takes us to register. Great. This takes us back to the home page. Great. We didn't create a path for this to, yeah. Takes us to the home. Right. So we have this. Also want to create some general stylings. So let's say in a situation where we have a dot heading on text on the font size of 2 rem, margin bottom of 1 rem. Margin of 1 rem, like that. So first of all, let's just go to the, let's close some of the file. Close this. Close this. Yeah. Let's bring in the class name should be header. Class name to be header. Oh, okay. Text online center. Cool. So got home about login. Let's go back to the login page. Inside the pages header, I want the where's the login? Yeah. Let's do the register first. So let's say cool. So we are just trying to do just not too fancy design, just something basic for the app, and then after that we can go off and then go off and do fancy designs or styling if you feel like it. So inside here, I want a p tag, which is say a subheading. I'll say create. I'll say please create an account. Okay. Then I'll have a form wrapper with the form tag. We don't need the action. We have dot input group, something group. Let's bring in a label and say name. Let's make this bigger. We have an input type of text, and then the name should be name, and then placeholder. Let's say enter your name, enter your name. But before that, let's bring in the use state hook to handle some state variables. So import use state from React. So we can say const form data set form data equals to use state. We want the name, email, want the password, and then let's destructure from the form data like that. That's work. Yeah. So back in here, we can then set the value for value for the name to be name like that. So let's create 3 of them for the email and then the password. So bring in this, we'll say this should be email, ID has to email. Let's change this to name. Then let's say enter your email. So email value should be email. Okay. Let's create one for the password. Copy. Paste. The type should be password. Do password, and then just change this to password, and also this to password. Enter your password. Should be pass. Right. So after that, we want a button type of submit, and then we have a let's do submit. And then again, we need an onChange function on the input. So we say on change handle change. Let's create the handle change function. Let's say handle change. Let's see what we have so far. Okay. Okay, so then let's copy the onChange function here and then paste it in all of the input elements. So onChange, and then inside here we want the onChange. Save. Close. Cool. So let's come back into our app.scss file, and then let's just make this thing look a little bit nice. So say that sub heading text align, center, margin, bottom on there. Okay. And then this will be font wrapper width. Let's do 540 pixel, max width 90%, margin 0, auto, bring it to the middle. Alright, then inside that we want the label to display block, margin bottom 0.8 rem, like that. I'll do 0.5 rem, 5 rem. Okay. Then first off, let's do dot input group margin bottom. Let's do 1 rem, like that. Okay, so set our input group. If you want input, let's say display block width should be 100%. Margin 0.2 rem, 0 rem. Text indent, let's do 20 pixel. Let's do 10 pixel, and then let's do font size is over 2 rem. Let's do 1 rem, like that. Coolly. And then I also want to work on the button, so we say button display block with 100%, background color right, outline one, cursor pointer, pattern 0.5 rem, border none, and color should be white. Cool. So you have the name, email, you have the password. I saw this amazing red color some time back. Wait, let me see if I can find it. So this amazing red color that I liked. What I can do is to bring the, I think I saved it somewhere here. Right. Yeah, it's red color. That looks nice. I mean, I like it. I don't know what you think about it. So instead of doing red here, I'll say with the button. Why did we do the red? Yeah, I'll put it here. Yeah, let's see how it looks. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the perfect designer, but sort of like it. So back in the let's try and then change this a bit. Okay, so I want the font weight for the heading to be a little bit lighter. So heading, where did we put the heading? Yeah, so we say font weight, let's do 300. Make it, yeah, I like it. All right, so this is the register page. Please create an account, and okay, perfect. All right, so let's handle the on-change part. So if you have any idea about React, if you have a control input, when you type something here, might not work. So since we've already set the value to the state, which is these ones here, so on change, actually what we have to do is run the function instead. Sorry, where is it? Here. Okay, so we can do handle change like that. So why are we on change? Sorry, let's see if this one works. Sometimes I get a bit confused when it comes to these little things. Yeah, good. I think we made a mistake with the naming of the on-change. So on-change, and then on-change. So I'm gonna change this. Wait. Let's rather run a function. Close this. Refresh. Let me see what happens. Okay. Change. Cool. So back in the onChange function, what we can do is to set form data and then pass in our previous data and then return our previous data, and then we say e.target, that's name, should be e.target, that's value. So let us then console.log, let's do name, email, password. So initially that should give us nothing. So we start the name, email, password. There's something wrong with the password. Password. Name is password. Wait, so I like to check all my, okay, to make sure that all of my close this. Let's close this. And then password doesn't seem to be working. Wait. Oh. The password. Where's the password? Value password. Name. Okay. Name is password. I made a mistake here. Okay. Let's close this. So password works. Name. Okay, cool. Then let's handle the unsubmit part. Const unsubmit, we pass our e, then e.prevent default, then we dispatch some functions here. All right. So back inside our source folder, let's then handle the Redux side of things. So inside here, what we can do then is to create the, let's close this. What we can do then is to create a folder, Redux. Where is it? Where is our Redux? No. I want a folder instead, so I want a folder. Then we have a user slice. I want to use a user inside the user, because we have other ones like transfer and then account slice. So let's create a user slice.js. Then inside here, let's import create a sync tongue, and then create slice React at Redux toolkit Redux.js /. Oh. Cool. So we then have to create our initial state. This user to be null. It's loading. Let's do false. This success. Sorry. To be false. It's error. False. And message to be that. Then we can then create our user slice to be create slice. Our name, let's do auth, and then we pass our initial state. Reducers should be an object. The only ordinary reducer I would want to do is to have a reset reducer, which resets the state back to the default, we have a state, and then we do state dot is loading to be false, state dot is error to be false, then false. It's also false state that is success, false state that's message to be done. Then from there we have a extra reducers, which takes a builder, and then we handle our cases here. All right, then from there we export default user slice dot reducer, and as well we export our reset function user slice dot actions reducer. Cool. We then have to bring the user reducer. Yeah, how did we miss here? Oh, yeah. We then have to bring user reducer into our store, which is in the app. Okay, so then we import user reducer from let's go up one sec, Redux user slice store Redux rather. Let's put this in the user folder. I don't know why. Let's delete this, and then new folder, just put in the user, and then bring this in here. Cool. So then inside our Redux, you pass in the user slice, and in here let's put user reducer. It should then work. Do we have any errors? Oops. How the hell from these things? Oh. Okay, let's just go into our dev tools and look for Redux. So inside Redux, let's go to the state. Yeah, so we have a state, the user is null. So also what we want to do is want to check if there's a user. It should be a JSON, not pass. Local storage.get item user, then we save. There's user. Other than that, we want it to be null. So sorry. Other than that, use null. Okay. So back in Redux, check. Yeah, our user is null. All right. Let's then create a single function which will then log in a user. So we come in here and then we say register user, there's export const register user, which will be on create a sync tongue. It will be a user register. We want an async function, user data, and want a thunk API. Then we have our try catch, and then return thunk API dot reject with value. No. Let's bring this async. There seems to be a problem somewhere here. We have an async, an async function. And then we say return thunk API dot reject with value error dot message. And then usually I'll create a service file to handle the HTTP request, but this time I'm not. I just want to keep things simple. So we then will have to use our fetch. We say const res we await fetch to our users file. And we pass in some to content type. This is basic fetch request, so we do application /JSON, and then our method will be post, and then our body will be JSON.stringify. We then pass our user data, which will be our name, email, and then password. So we then have to return the batch. We have to do this and then we return our data. Simple as that. So let's handle our cases. Then we say builder.add case register user.pending, pass our state, and then we say state.is loading equals to true. Then we add another case. Then we say register user.is fulfilled. Pass a state, and then action. Then we have state.is loading to be false, state.is success to be true, state.message empty, and state. We actually are not going to use the. It depends if we want to automatically log in the user, but when we check, do we have an error? Do we have an error? Wait. There seems to be something I'm missing. Wait. We use the action.payload.user because when we check our backend controllers, user controller, and then when we create the user, Or is it? Should be up. Let's comment this. When we create the user, we are returning the user and then the account details. So we can then also say that the account is null, like that. And then after registering, we then can say state dot account equals to action dot pay load dot count, something like that. All right. So in an event when there's a rejected, we pass the state action state that is loading goes to false, state that is success false, state that is error true, state that message should be action of payload. Pretty much it. Okay, you've written a whole lot of code for just registration. So let's go over the code. So we export the register user function by creating an async tag. We pass in the user register, should be an async tag. We get the user data. We have a thank API. We make our fetch request by going to / users, then define the content type, which should be application / JSON. The method is post. The body will be remember if we have to stringify the data, user data, and then we try to get response from the server, and then we return the data. And in case that there is an error, first of all, let's console log error. Right. So back inside our register function, let's bring in a use dispatch from React Redux, and then let's bring in let's bring in use navigate from React router DOM, and it's supposed to be use dispatch, then navigate, use navigate. Yeah. So and also let's bring in the register function. Okay. So on submit, we'll then dispatch. So on submit, we'll then dispatch register user, and then we pass our name, email, password. Like that. We have some errors in here. Oh. We have some typos we need to address. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's use John Morant. Let's check our database to see what's happening. Okay, it's working now. Okay, so let me check our database. We have data in here. Nice. Then what we want to also do is import use selector then want to get the user this loading is success. Which will get the stated user like that. Inside our store, what do we have? Yeah. Then let's use use effect. Then back in here, we can then say use effect when the user is success. Then what we can then say is that if user or is success, we want to navigate to login, something like that. Great. What I rather would want to do is navigate to the dashboard, because and then back inside the register user, back inside our user slice, which is the register, what I want to do is to JSON local set user in local storage. So local storage set item on the user, then JSON dot stringify data dot user, something like that. let's create the dashboard page. If you don't have the dashboard, so back inside the app, yes, let's create the route for the dashboard. So when we import this component, we want the dashboard, and then dashboard, and then to use the dashboard like that. So it should be from pages. Good. All right. I think I'm getting a bit tired, so the next time we try and then we work on the header part of the application. All right. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to keep on pushing. Bye.